morning, breaking back in with that breaking news alert we first told you about 20 minutes ago, the small plane crash in West Broward. The update you're seeing right now is the man who was on that plane. That plane now a little bit more submerged into the water since we first checked in with you. He is being attached to what looks like a harness and is about to be hoisted up and away to safety. Now, to give you a couple of updates since we first checked in with you, according to the Broward Sheriff Fire Rescue, a small single-engine aircraft, that's what you're seeing on your screen there, is down near Max Fish Camp. That is in the Everglades. It is just west of Miramar, just to give you a better idea as to where this is right now as you take a look at live images from Sky 10. So near Chrome Avenue, they're working on this rescue in progress right now. Miami-Dade Fire Air Rescue also working on hoisting this patient right now. A further update is that when we first checked in with you a little more than 20 minutes ago, is that the man seemingly looked okay from our perspective from Sky 10. Again, still looks mostly okay, but the update here is that this male patient has a leg injury. The severity of said injury, that we don't know at this point, but that will obviously start getting treated shortly. We can't really see the other side, the other perspective here, so can't really tell too much as to what that looks like, but it looks like it's being taken care of, at least to a certain degree right now, as they work on hoisting this male patient with a leg injury out of this single-engine plane, this small single-engine aircraft down in the water right now. So again, coming up on 25 minutes since we first checked in with you, we'll maintain this live picture right now as we catch you up on what's going on. Just know that we also have our crews on the way to this scene right now. We'll give you a further update as the morning turns the page into the afternoon right now. But what we know so far is that this small plane took off somewhere in the Okeechobee area, and that's as far as we know. Where it was going, unknown at this time. What caused the plane to go down, more importantly, that is still up in the air right now. Still trying to figure out what's going on with that right now. But we'll maintain a view here as this patient is being hoisted up here any minute now, but getting the attention that is needed as this rescue is in progress. So aircraft in that short field of water, initially BSO and others were en route. The man seemed to be okay, but again, that update is now that he is dealing with a leg injury right now. In the last 15 minutes, right before we jumped on air with you, the Broward Sheriff's Office and Broward Sheriff Fire Rescue giving us that other update in that they were operating in this scene in the area of Max Fish Camp. That's the updated locator from when we first checked in with you, found the patient, and that rescue was then proceeding. Small single-engine aircraft, that's what we know about the plane so far right now, and that it's just the one male patient dealing with this injury. And Miami-Dade Fire Air Rescue working on hoisting this patient up, which is what we are looking at as we speak at this moment. You see everything's attached, and we should be closing the book on this rescue as we speak. But even in just these last 20 minutes, just to give you an idea how much has passed and the difference in what has happened, this male patient was sitting where he is right now on this plane from when we first saw it from our perspective. Not moving, seemingly doing okay, of course dealing with that injury that we mentioned, but that plane is not as underneath the water as it is right now. That wing that you see toward the background of the shot behind the first responder there was a little bit more above the water from where we first checked in, but in just those 25 minutes or so it sank a little bit, and now we're working on getting this male patient out from this location. Again, this is the Max Fish Camp area in the Everglades, just west of Miramar, after this plane took off somewhere in the Okeechobee area. So when it comes to questions, as you take a look right now, you see the water rippling a bit, so you know that the chopper is starting to get moving, and we're going to see the hoist here in just a second. But as we work to figure out what exactly happened in this story, the pieces that we're still working to figure out and piece together, as now you take a look at the wider perspective, and you'll get to see this come through, is what exactly happened. We know it took off from the Okeechobee area. Where it was going, still working to figure out. That's what we're working on right now, as well as the fact as to what exactly happened and what caused this plane to go down, whether it was pilot error, whether it was mechanical error, whether it was something weather related or something else. All of that is still working to get figured out right now. What we know about the patient so far is that it's just a male, single male right here involved in this small plane crash in West Broward, and that they were dealing with an apparent leg injury. The severity of that leg injury still unknown at this time, but we saw a few minutes ago, them working on either wrapping it up, perhaps putting it in a splint, something along those lines, as they were also attaching the vest, the harness, and everything else as this rescue is ongoing. You see it happening right now as we speak. So we know that this male patient is in good condition, now taken off this plane crash that is in the water in the Everglades right now. We'll be able to follow up with it as the rest of the morning goes along. Multiple crews are in the area. We have our own crew to the area as well to try and give you a different perspective closer to the ground as to how that plane is doing. Trying to keep an eye on the patient here as we start moving up. Thought I perhaps saw a little bit of a grimace there, but you see that leg there, his right leg seemingly wrapped up a little bit, but can't really make a good eye out for it. But keep in mind, we're just past the 11 o'clock hour on this Tuesday morning. We have Local 10 News coming up at noon. In less than an hour, we'll be able to gather a bit more information and piece it together for you a little bit more efficiently and be able to give you an update as we continue to work this developing story. This is obviously not the last stop on what is going on right now. So for anyone just tuning in, we first checked in a little after 10:30 this morning, popped in again about 8 minutes ago or so to provide you this update on a small plane crash in West Broward. This is live from Sky 10. You're watching everything happen right now. This is the widest perspective we've been able to give you as to where this plane crash happened. You see how remote the area is right there, and that it was one male patient now rescued. We saw the being hoisted up there by first responders. So one more time, we do have a crew to the scene. We're continuing to work the phones and gather more information for you to find out exactly what happened and how that patient will be doing moving forward. So we'll send you back to regularly scheduled programming, and be sure to keep up with updates on air and online over at local10.com.